What's up? And welcome back to the channel for yet another FC Finch video. And it has been a while since we've done one of these top 5 lists or whatnot, and they don't do particularly well, so I'm really not that motivated to do them. But every once in a while, I get an idea, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to film it, and to hell with it. How it does, it's how it's going to do. And if I get some engagement, then I get some engagement. So today's list is going to be 5 Transformers characters that I feel need representation in the Masterpiece segment. And where I'm kind of going with this is we're 6 months into the year 2025 already, and in the Masterpiece collecting segment, which is what I primarily collect from, we are gifted with a lot of third-party companies that do a lot of characters. We get the Diaclones, we get the Shattered Glass, we get recolors, all that good stuff. And yet, here's 5 characters that I don't feel have been properly represented, or just haven't been represented at all. In fact, I don't think any character on this list has had any representation in the Masterpiece segment. So I'm going to kind of want to talk about that in this video, just kind of give my personal wish list. And hey, we got 6 months left in the year, so who's to say we won't be seeing these figures announced anytime soon. That being said, I just have one quick caveat for this list, and if you're familiar with my list, you know that I have these caveats from time to time. I am not talking about KOs of Studio Series figures. I know a lot of companies, they upscale Studio Series figures that we don't have yet, and they do a good job and they paint them everything. But no, I want a proper third-party or official offering with proper paint, the proper Masterpiece engineering. And at the end of the day, I'm sorry, an upscaled Studio Series figure is still just an upscaled Studio Series figure. It is not the engineering is very specific for Masterpiece. That is really it. So without further ado, we're going to get into this list. You guys know what to do at this point. Sit back, relax, like, subscribe. Here are 5 Transformers characters that I feel need representation in the Masterpiece collecting segment. Coming in number 5 at the top of the list is going to be Knockout from the Transformers Prime universe. And I'm going to be honest here. I actually know nothing about Knockout save for what I may have heard. I guess he likes movies, and I guess he's a doctor and all that good stuff. Either way, I know nothing about this character. I've never actually seen an episode of Transformers Prime. Heard good things, never actually watched the show, and I'm probably not going to. I just don't have that kind of time in my life. That being said, I had the chance to mess with Legacy Knockout about a year ago or so. And, while that was just a redress remold of SS86 Jazz, I actually quite liked it. I thought the color scheme was bang on. That dark maroon color scheme looked fantastic. And I actually think his alt mode is pretty cool, too. I'm told it's supposed to be an Aston Martin of some sort, or like a Jaguar. It looked like a Jaguar F-Type to me. Either way, what I would like to see from a third-party company on this guy is, firstly, I would love to see a third-party company take some creative liberties and actually give us that Jaguar alt mode. I think a Decepticon with something like a Jaguar alt mode and just the cool suave looks of Knockout would absolutely be amazing. Also, gotta add in the paint. Again, it would really take a company to do a very nice shade of a metallic maroon paint. I think that would absolutely make the figure pop. Again, so do just those 2 things for that figure. Obviously, QC would have to be, good. I mean, I like a figure that'll stay together and survive a few transformations. But that said, if somebody can do that, that would definitely be on my want to buy list, whether I know the character or not. Coming in at number 4 on this list is Waspinator from Beast Wars, and I did not want to get into Beast Wars, but the figures are certainly appealing, and I have seen the show, so I do have the attachment to the characters. I'm on the fence about Rat Trap at current. I know he's coming very soon, and yes, I am aware that Megatron and Dinobot prices are through the flipping roof right now, so God help me if I decide to get into this. That being said, Waspinator is a character that I'm surprised we have not gotten yet from anybody. And no, that Trojan Horse 01 third-party thing does not count. For one, it's a stylized take, and for two, the transformation looks flipping atrocious on that guy. That being said, Waspinator was a core character in Beast Wars. He survived the entire damn series in his single mode. He never actually got a trans medal or anything like that. Secondly, you could even say that he survived into Beast Machines, which I haven't seen, but I have heard about in segments of the lore, so I do know that somehow he survived into Beast Machines. With such an iconic voice pattern and whatnot, I'm just surprised nobody has taken a stab at this character. It doesn't even have to be a third party. Quite frankly, I think Takara is the best company to undertake this figure. They've killed all the Beast Wars figures that they made so far, so I think that Waspinator is definitely should be higher up on that list. And again, I figure you could probably charge the $150 price point for this figure, throw in some blast effects. You could go crazy with the face sculpts. You give him some weapons, give him a few little accessories like that. Boom, job done, and Takara would be able to milk this for all it's worth. Hell, they could even do a buzzsaw repaint if they really wanted to. But yeah, so now that we are done with all the season 1 max, or at least the Axlon crew, or however the hell you pronounce that ship name, I'm hoping that the rest of our season 1 Predacons are soon to follow. We're at the pseudo halfway point on this list, and coming in at number 3 is going to be Crosshairs from Transformers Age of Extinction. And I understand that this movie strikes a chord with a lot of fans. I understand that this version of the Autobots strikes a chord with a lot of fans. They're a lot more rowdy, a lot more kind of gung-ho, shoot first, ask questions later kind of bunch. And yeah, I get that can rub people the wrong way. Me, personally, I loved Transformers Age of Extinction. I think it's a very fun movie. It's not Academy Award-winning stuff, but I could sit down and enjoy this movie all day, every day, if I had to sit down and watch it. Secondly, if you've watched this channel long enough, you know that I very much have an affinity for my love of Corvettes. And Crosshairs, of course, transforms into a very green, yet mildly tacky C7 Corvette, which I find very attractive. And I firmly think, similarly to Knockout, a proper third-party company can knock this figure out of the park. Give him a extremely awesome coat of green paint with the little black decals on there. I think that would look absolutely stunning. Now, I understand that transformation with this guy may be a hair on the complex side, given that the car body basically becomes like a trench coat with Mr. Crosshairs. But that being said, after messing with figures like Metagate Red Fantasy, or seeing what stuff has been done with the New Age Duel and whatnot, I have every confidence that a third-party company like Unique Toys can undertake this and knock it out of the park. So again, transformation may be a little difficult, but I certainly don't think it's beyond impossible, and definitely not impossible to make user-friendly and quite fun. Coming in at the number 2 spot, the runner-up on this list, is yet another Beast Wars character, and that is going to be Tarantulas, the only antagonist that I actually like more than Waspinator. And again, similarly to Waspinator, I am surprised we have not gotten Tarantulas yet. I mean, again, significant character in the Beast Wars series. Yes, he changed modes a couple times, but I mean, he was a dominant antagonist throughout the Beast Wars series, with quite a lot of dark lore behind him. And again, it just strikes me, I'm completely perplexed that nobody has come to take a chance at season 1 Tarantulas. And I say this as somebody that hates spiders. Like, I'm almost afraid the alt mode will be all too realistic that I may not want to put my hands on it, but I would soldier on. Once again, I think Takara is the best candidate to handle this. Just again, alternate faces, blast effects, maybe even some handmade science gadgets as accessories, even give him the little web stand that Black Arachnia got, and I think that would be a knockout of the park. Charge him at the $150 price point. Boom, job done. And again, that would probably be more than enough to push me over the edge and get me into collecting the Masterpiece segment with Beast Wars. And taking the top spot on this list, and I gotta put my foot in my mouth with this one, because I actually wrote the script for this episode back in February. That's when I initially intended on filming it. And so since then, we actually have gotten an announcement from a third-party company who I've never heard of before. I'm not even going to bother to look up the name, but some third-party company has already announced a representation of this character, and that is going to be Mirage as he appeared in the Rise of the Beast movie. And I can already see it now, people saying, just get the YOLO Park one. And here's the thing, I don't want the YOLO Part 1. I don't want a 301. I want a transforming Mirage. And I understand that this may take some doing on the engineering. I mean, just looking at the character, his engineering for the transformation does not look simple. That said, I don't really feel like this is a figure we can leave in Takara's hands. I mean, just Takara's kind of hit or miss when it comes to MPMs. I really feel like this would be a job for Unique Toys or New Age or even Magnificent Mecha to really undertake and make a stellar representation of this character. Now, oddly enough, I really kind of expected this character to be way far off, considering that we literally just got announcements for, or actually just releases for Skids and Mudflap, and Revenge of the Fallen is a 15-plus year old movie. Nevertheless, I still think it's going to be, I'm not sure how this new company is going to fare, but I still think it's going to be a while before we get like the version to have of this specific character, nevertheless. But still taking the top spot, going to be Rise of the Beast Mirage. So that is it for this list. Yes, I know there was no G1 characters announced at all, but if it makes you feel any better, I'm still hoping that somebody else decides to give Wind Charger a go. Anybody? Takara? Fans Toys? Anybody? Give it a go. That being said, let me know in the comments, what are some characters that you think still need the Masterpiece treatment, or are characters that need a proper Masterpiece representation? Give me a comment. Let's do lunch. Let's chat. All that jazz. That being said, if you found this video fun and enjoyable to watch, let me know by leaving a like down below. And of course, if you're a fan of Transformers Talk or Transformers Toy Reviews, consider giving me a subscribe down below. Again, thank you so massively much to the 875 plus of you that already are. I greatly appreciate it. It does very much help me out. That being said, I have been FC Finch. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for making me a part of your collecting journey. Good night.